Hey guys, I want to talk to you about twink farming in this video. But before we get started, this video is for people looking to make a twink in Legion for the purpose of farming mats or selling power leveling. I won't be posting any of my stats or going over what gear you should get, as it varies from class to class and person to person. Anyways, let's get into it. We'll talk about farming up mats first, since it's the easiest to do and the most profitable. The dungeon you'll want to be spamming for the mats will be Darkheart Thicket, and you'll want to have skinning and herbalism as your primary professions. The common method is to pull everything to just before the first boss and line aside everything to make all the mobs bunch up for you to AoE. Some classes can handle this better than others, and the amount of leech you have also plays a key factor on whether or not you'll live through this. However, this method does require you pay attention to the birds that disorient you. If one of the birds is able to get that off, you'll die almost immediately. The Spart also has the most mobs you'll kill, so be sure to pop your drums and your CDs to burn through them. If you play a class that can't handle the amount of enemies or simply don't have the leech, it's okay to pull lighter packs instead of pulling the entire dungeon. I usually will kill the first two sets of mobs and take out the birds, and then move on to the second bear you encounter in the dungeon, and after that, I'll clear the pack of mobs with the hippogriffs. At this point, I pull everything short of the boss and pop all my CDs while I'm still making sure to kill the birds and interrupting their screech before it goes off. Once all those ads are dead, go back through and skin the mobs. And once you're done with that, you can skip the first boss by walking around the ring. Since this is a farm run, there isn't any point to kill all the bosses, as it cuts into how many mats you gain per hour. The second part of the farm run is rounding up all the plants in one go. This part is pretty light and usually doesn't require drums, but you may want to wait a minute for some DPS CDs to come back up. Just run all the way to the area just before the second boss while pulling everything you see, and stand behind one of the rocks on the pathway to LOS and start popping your CDs and burn the mobs down. Once you have them all killed and you have your mats, the dungeon has ended, so make your way back to the beginning to reset so you can rinse and repeat, or so you can make your way back to the auction house. The next part I want to talk about is selling power leveling. There are a few different ways to do this and how to sell your runs. You can choose to either sell your runs per dungeon or to do an all upfront payment for leveling them all the way to 110. Whichever one you choose to do, I'd recommend selling to a full group to maximize your profits, because this part is a time sink. I won't say what I charge for players, because it will vary from server to server and what people are willing to pay. You can solo any dungeon, just keep in mind you're trying for a speedrun, so pulling every ad and nailing them down just because you can won't increase your gold per hour. When I do my power leveling runs, I'll usually have the carries AFK at the start or follow behind me to loot and pick up the mats. If one of the carries happens to pull, it's better to just let them die and keep moving, as to not waste time, because going back to the time part, this will take a while, especially if they bought a full carry from you. You can expect that to be a good half day to a full day, depending on how fast you are. Anyway guys, thanks for watching. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and hit subscribe if you want to see more. See you guys next time.